Why can't I say this? Why can't I talk about this? Oh, feeling stressed. Hey guys, what's up? It's me. I'm back making videos. I have a lot more free time to make videos, so you'll be seeing more of me. Before we get started, if you hear lots of noise, it's probably this guy moving around. But yeah, I'm super excited about today's video. I think it's a really touchy subject that not a lot of people like to talk about. So I think that's why I feel like I need to talk about it, because I think it's something that people need to be educated on and kind of understand that it's okay to talk about it. So I asked you guys actually on a Instagram poll if you guys would like to see a video of me talking about the issues I've had with body image and with food. So a lot of you guys said yes, so I'm here to deliver. So I'm going to be talking about that today. And before I even really get started with this video, I want to say, just because someone doesn't look heavily obese doesn't mean that they don't struggle with it, that they don't have a right to feel bad about their bodies or to struggle with how they feel about their bodies and with food. So that's a big misconception. That's the world we live in today. It's like, if you aren't heavily obese and you feel bad about your body, people are like, shut up, you're skinny, you don't need to worry about that. Well, it's not that easy. So I just want to say that. So if you guys want to hear about my struggles with body image and with food, then go ahead and keep on watching. So the first recollection I have of really struggling with body image dates all the way back to 6th grade, which is crazy. You're supposed to be middle school, carefree, having the time of your life in middle school, and you know, I was still worried about my body back then. So the moment that really sticks out in my head is I was in math class. I literally remember this, so I can't even be making it up. I think I was in math class. I think her name was Mrs. Straub. Was she a math teacher? I don't know. And I remember looking over at this girl, and she is a tall, beautiful girl. And I remember looking over at her, and she was like bent over, you know, like how you bent over in your seat or whatever. And I remember looking over and thinking, oh my God, she is so skinny, she doesn't even have rolls. And like I looked down at me and I had these rolls that you could see with my tight shirt, and I was just like, and like sitting up straight and like always looking over and wondering like why I didn't have that body. It makes me really sad that I can remember back then thinking that. As a 6th grader, I just think that that is crazy. And so I remember just always like comparing myself to people and that kind of thing. And it wasn't a huge issue, but I remember always feeling insecure about that. And as I got older, I think probably 7th, 8th grade, the really cool thing was like Aeropostale shirts that were super tight. And I just remember like being so insecure because everyone was just so thin, and I thought I looked like literally obese in them. Like when it's in your mind, there's nothing that can really change your mind. A lot of people think, well, look in the mirror, compare yourself to this girl, and you know you're not fat. And it's like, that's not how it works. Because sure, if I place myself next to someone who is 500 pounds, I look small. But in my mind, I still look disgusting. I'm disgusted with myself when I look in the mirror. I think that I'm fat, and there's nothing anyone can say or do that changes my mind. People can tell you you're skinny, you could look at the scale, and it'll never be enough. The scale could be 98 pounds. You could be in an extra small. And if your mind doesn't agree, doesn't think that's enough, you're not going to change your mind. And that's just how it was for me. So 8th grade is when depression kind of kicked in. That's when the insecurity with my body and food really developed. So I tried to starve myself. I could never make myself puke. I remember literally trying to do that, and I just never could. So I tried to starve myself. And I mean, if you were friends with me in 8th grade and I sat with you at lunch, I don't know if you would have noticed or if you would have thought that I was starving myself, but I would either skip lunch or I would try not to eat. I would end up being so hungry that I'd probably eat a little bit, but I really tried to starve myself. But with trying to starve myself, I ended up developing a binge eating habit So after school, I would go home and I would literally like raid our cupboards, and I would eat everything. And I would try to do it when my parents weren't looking, or like when any of my family wasn't looking. I would take chips, eat a whole bag of chips, eat 2 bowls of cereal, like just eat anything that was in my sight. And then because I would eat all of that after this whole day of trying to starve myself, I would feel really, really guilty about it. So that kind of developed a habit within me throughout my whole life. And I wouldn't say that my binge eating is as bad anymore, but I always did that and I never really noticed it. A lot of times what happens is when I'm feeling insecure about my body, I'll think, well, I'm never gonna have the body I want, and you know, I'm never gonna be able to fix this, so whatever, I'm gonna eat whatever I want, and I'll go to Taco Bell and eat 15 tacos. There's probably a lot of people who have an actual binge eating disorder that is a lot worse than mine, but that's what happened. And because of that, I've always felt an association of guilt when I eat. So I gained a lot of weight from doing this. Not a lot. I wouldn't say that I was obese at all, but instead of getting skinnier, I just gained a little bit of weight. So I could look back on pictures of me in 8th grade and literally point out pictures that would make me cry myself to sleep because I thought I was fat, and it's ridiculous. I guess we'll move into me now. So that's just kind of my story of how it all started. So it started at a pretty young age, just being insecure, comparing myself, trying to starve myself, then binge eating, and just a constant cycle of that. So moving on to now, I think that right now it's kind of at an all-time high. That makes me really emotional, so we're gonna try not to cry. So one of the biggest things for me is comparison. I will get on Instagram and I'll look at pictures, and I don't think there's one picture that I've seen of a girl who's either like sideways or her belly showing or she's in a bikini that I have not zoomed in on and compared. I will literally zoom into her stomach and be like, how do I get like that? When I look in the mirror, I obviously have gained weight because I'm out of school. I have not been in any sports. I've not been working out like I should be, and I've not been eating healthy. So when I look at my body in the mirror, I see that I've clearly gained weight. I could have gained a lot more weight than what I have. A lot of people out of high school just blow up like that. I know that it is very small because the numbers on the scale have not really gone up. It's just the fats move in different places, okay? My stomach has always been my insecurity. I just feel that I have a lot of lower belly fat and love handles, and my arms are chubby, and I just have felt all these things, and I compare myself constantly. I see pictures of girls, I zoom in, and I'm like, how did they get like that? And I think with summer coming up, it's even harder, not feeling like I'll ever be good enough, and going to the gym and not seeing results, and feeling like, what's the point of even doing this if nothing's changing? So I was going to the gym for a while with Brian. I was doing really good, and then I just wasn't seeing results, and I was stressed out with school, and I was just like, I'm done. I'm not going anymore. It's been almost a year since going to the gym. A big part of it was just thinking to myself, I'm never going to change. My body's never going to get better, and I hate it. I hate my body. This is what it's gonna be, and I can't do anything to change it. Food was one of the biggest struggles for me this year. I would see people eating healthy and just be like, how do you do that? Like, I'm such a picky eater, so it's already so hard for me, and I just don't know how these people are eating healthy. Like, and then I would eat all this food, and then I would cry myself to sleep because I'm not helping the situation. I'm making things worse for myself. That's one of the biggest struggles, is feeling guilt after I eat. The point of this is I just want you to know that I struggle too. But with this being said, the important message that comes with this, that I'm preaching to myself and to you if you study with body image, One is that if you are someone who does not struggle with body image and you're watching this and you're wondering, why is she complaining about this? There's such bigger problems in the world. I know that. But body image, struggling with body image and food is something that leads to depression. It leads to anorexia, bulimia, anorexia and bulimia. To self-harm, to suicide, to a lot of mental health problems. And yes, there are grander problems in the world, but you need to understand that that doesn't lessen our problem either. 2, you have to learn to love the body that you were given. Before anything happens, before anything changes, you have to love this body. I have to love my arms that I think are too thick. I have to love the lower belly fat that I think is disgusting. I have to love that, and I have to accept that this was a God-given gift to me, that it is precious. It's one of a kind. There's no one else out there like me that has this exact body. And I have to love that. I have to truly, 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 truly love that before anything. Because if you're in the gym saying, I hate myself, I need to torture myself, I need to run 12 miles to burn this fat off before I'll ever love myself. No, you have to love yourself before any changes happen. Once you truly love yourself, if you think you need to change, then change the things that you can. There's nothing wrong with changing the things that you can, and you have to be willing to make the changes. But you have to do that with love. You can't be hard on yourself. The last thing I need to say is that you don't have to change. There is nothing on your body that needs to be changed. There's a difference between need and want. Nothing needs to be changed. Unless there's a medical condition, there's nothing that needs to be changed. You can want to change it, but just know that you never have to, not for anyone, not for your boyfriend, not for your mom, not for anyone. Your body is perfect the way it is. If you're struggling with body image, if you're struggling with food, know that I'm a friend, that I can talk to you about it, that we can get through this together. So, I think I got it all out on the table. It might have been all over the place. It's kind of hard to talk about. It's a very touchy subject. It's a very confusing subject to me. It's a very hard subject to talk about as well, and I know it is for a lot of people. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Just know that if you struggle with this, that I'm here for you and you're not alone. And I just want to thank you guys for supporting me and sticking through this video. So thank you guys so much. Give this video a thumbs up. I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye guys.